Hey guys, I'm Jimmy Washam. I'm excited to tell you about the package that I've teamed up with Profound Outdoors with. It's going to be called the Washam Tennessee River Fall Bundle. We have got a deal for you that's going to help you catch more fish on the Tennessee River this fall. So this package, it's $125 worth of baits. You're going to get it for $100. Let me show you what you're going to have. It's everything you need to go catch fish this fall. So starting out, we've got the Azuma Z-Dog, great walking bait. Man, it casts like a bullet. Really has a subtle walk to it, a unique rattle to it. You're going to get it in purple haze and bone white, two killer colors, shad imitators. Then you're going to get the Azuma Popper Z, my favorite pop-in style bait. Man, you can walk this just like a Z-Dog, just like any type of walking bait. It's got that feather on the back when those fish really key in on those tiny bait fish. This is a killer around pressured fish that won't bite other topwaters. You're going to get it in the Blue Bahama. You're also going to get it in the Casper Shad. Two killer colors. Next, the Azuma Wake Z. This is a really cool wake bait. You know, September, October is classic around grass on the Tennessee River for those fish really feeding up and wanting to target those big gizzard shad. That Wake Z and Blue Bahama is a killer. It's got some holes cut out in the bill that's going to leave a bubble trail. Really a killer for catching fish over submergent grass. Next, the Bray Z jerkbait. This profile on this bait is awesome. You know, sometimes in the fall on the Tennessee River, they really key in on these little baits, little bait fish, and it makes them hard to catch. This Bray Z with a feather on the back, man, it's a killer little jerkbait. It's the perfect size and profile, cast well for its size and weight. Twitch that thing around schooling fish or around grass edges, great bait to catch them. As it cools off, we get into October, especially November. I'm excited on the Tennessee River about throwing the Shaker Z. Man, it's just a money maker. You've got it in the Knock Knock. This one is in bone white. The Knock Knock is a one knocker style, 5/8. Man, it casts like a bullet. It's got a really subtle action. That subtle action is what won me the Toyota series at Gunnersville back in the spring. And then you've got the regular Shaker Z with a more of a high pitched rattle sequence. You got it in Candy Shad. That is a really killer color. Also in Grand Shad. Love those two. You know, if you got sun, partly cloudy, you go with the Candy Shad. If you've got some clouds, low visibility, some good wind, go with that Grand Shad. It really kind of shines in the water. So those are going to be killer when we get over into water temperatures below 70 degrees. Next, the Matt Reed Square Bill, the Square Boss. This is just an awesome bait. You know, most square bills, what do they do when you pause them? They rise. This is a suspending style bait with a really tough bill on it. It's a perfect size. This is in Hot Mess. Love that bait. Throw that around grass and wood this fall. You're going to catch them. And next, the Square Dance. It's a bait that is lighter than your average square bill crankbait that's this size. So that gives it a lot more ability to fish through cover. You can, man, really get this thing in some nasty laydowns and fish it through there. It's got a very unique kick to it for a square bill. Casts like a dream for the lightweight that it is. Really a good one. That's Goldilocks. I love that color to imitate fall shad. And you get around those big gizzard shad, this bait can shine from September into December. This is the Big Boss. It's a much larger profile square bill. That color is called Tennessee River. If you ever watch Timmy Horton Outdoors, you know he smashes them on the Tennessee River on that color right there. But really a killer color, killer bait, big profile, catch those big fish that start really keying in on those gizzard shad feeding up for the winter. If you can't catch them on the moving baits, we got you covered. Matt Reed Grass Jig, getting some good deep hydrilla, you know, 4 to 6 foot, especially if it gets clumpy, you know, out in front of you know, maybe a major grass flat. Man, add that with some current flowing through it, and that's a killer jig just to flip around at those clumps you can see. It weighs an ounce. It's going to come through the grass good. It's going to get those reaction bites, and you're always going to catch big fish on the jig. The next thing, you have those hot, still days. You've got grass mats. You know the fish are there. They're just not out feeding. They're inside those mats, seeking that cover or that canopy. You take Cliff Pace Hammer Drop, pair that with the Clone Cross'em, and that color right there, Sour Pumpkin, killer color for Tennessee River. Got a little bit of flake in it, and you pair those up, punch those mats, man, that is a killer combo. That Cross'em's going to catch them anywhere. if y'all know me, y'all know I love the Clone Ringo. You have those days where it's hot and still, you don't have wind, you know, one of those October days, high pressure. Take some 12-pound line, a 3/16 ounce Texas rig, a little 2/0 round bend hook, put this Clone Ringo on it, throw it around the areas of grass where it gets clumpy or isolated. And man, that little Clone Ringo, just a killer bait. I've caught them everywhere from Washington, D.C., up north, down to Florida this year on that bait. But Tennessee River, it's really a color. Good old green pumpkin, you can't beat it. Last, especially I love it as a follow-up to a topwater bait if I've got a fish that missed the topwater, or just fishing it around when you need to get a bite. Beach Basin 5.5 inch, put that on a little wacky rig hook, spinning rod with some 10-pound fluorocarbon leader to a braid main line. Man, pitch that around, just give it a few shakes, but it's especially important as a follow-up bait. Throw it in there with that unique fall to it. Really a killer follow-up bait. So that's what we've got in the Washam Tennessee River Fall Bundle. I'm excited to team up with Profound Outdoors and offer you all this. These baits are going to be on the deck of my boat this fall, and they need to be on the deck of yours too, and save some money while you're at it. Go to profoundoutdoors.com. Check it out. Thank y'all so much.